If you're a senior, you should just sit in a chair and rest because you can't get stronger, and you should stop trying to do crazy things like touching the ground and picking things up off the floor and getting up and down easily, independently, with strength and confidence. Pointless. You're old. Just stop trying. In this video, I'm going to teach you a skill that could save your life. I'm going to teach you a skill that will make your life feel a whole lot more comfortable so that you can maintain your independence and mobility. And if you watch through to the end of this video, I will explain why you really need to prioritize this based on a real life situation that happened to my own father. And if you're wondering why I'm down here on the floor, it's because I want you to be able to get down here and touch the floor with me too. So if you're ready, let's get ready to think right, move right, and feel right. So for all you seniors and people who feel like seniors out there, the skill we're working on today is being able to get down to the floor. You want to be able to get down to the floor easily, without assistance, with control, and without falling and flopping over. To do that, you need to have strength in your legs, you need to have coordination and control throughout your entire body. So we're going to start by using help. You're going to use a chair or some other sturdy piece of furniture, and you're going to hold onto it to help you do what's called a split squat. What is a split squat? First, you need to understand what a squat is. A normal squat is when you bend your knees and your hips to get lower to the ground like so. A split squat is when you're splitting yourself in half and one leg is behind, one leg is in front, and you're going down like this. This is called a split squat. So why would we use a split squat to get down to the floor? If you live in the Western world, you probably haven't done a full deep squat in decades, and asking you to do that right now when you're already advanced in age is probably not a great idea. You're gonna need a lot of time and practice to be able to do a full deep squat. But you can probably start working on a split squat because it doesn't require the same amount of mobility in your hips. So by splitting your legs, you don't need as much hip mobility, and you can just work your way slowly down and then start transitioning to the floor instead of having to get that hip mobility and then transitioning down to the floor. So now let's practice doing the split squat down to the floor. Use some assistance from a chair or a sturdy piece of furniture or a wall. You're gonna have your inside leg back behind you, and then you're going to do the squat. So your arms or one hand, whatever you need, are gonna help you take some of the weight and get down. Now, some of you may not even have the strength to get the leg to bend all the way down here, and that's fine. Don't push it. If it feels really unstable and unsteady and painful, don't go that far. So you can work on just going just a little bit down here and build some of that strength in both knees so that it feels reasonably comfortable. We don't want any snapping, popping sounds. We don't want any pinching, jamming, or tearing sensations. So you're just working on, okay, I can get here, hold that for like 5 seconds, and then come back up. So you're gonna be building strength to do this. Over time, as you get more strength and you can get lower and lower, you're gonna be able to transition to the next spot. But don't rush to that. If you feel like, man, it's super hard and you're feeling at all like you're gonna lose control, make sure you do this on a padded surface. Use something that's gonna make this feel not so bad. You can use a yoga block, you can use an exercise pad, a rolled up yoga mat, so that when you get down, you're landing on something that isn't painful. Then you can work on coming back up. Try to hover at any position that feels really challenging. Take some breaths, 5 seconds, and then come back out. You can do that for 5 to 10 repetitions on each side. Keep building up that strength and do that for 2 to 3 sets. And you're gonna do this type of exercise 3 times a week. If that feels good, if you need to do less, do less. If you feel like you can do more, do more. But over time, you wanna see that you're able to get lower and lower until you can just gently touch to the floor. When you're doing the split squat, you're gonna have your toes bent like that. So if that is a sticking point and it feels really uncomfortable for your big toe, take your time to get used to it. Just hang out there and come back up, go down into it, and allow the muscles in the bottom of your foot and around your toes to stretch out and get used to this. Do not force yourself to push through pain in your big toe or your other toes. Just let your feet get used to the position over time, and gradually you're gonna be able to go lower. The alternative is to actually point your toes like this and just be on the top of your foot, but that is not stable at all. And that's only something you can really do once your legs are strong enough to do a split squat without any help from the back leg. So I can do that right now because this leg is doing all the work, but you're not there yet. So wait until you get there to start doing things like this. if you start trying to do stuff like that from the get-go, you will hurt something. And then you can start working on the next thing. The next thing I'm gonna do is ask you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. For every single like and every new subscriber gained from now to the end of 2024, I am donating 1 cent to the Wounded Warriors Project, so you can help support me, this channel, and the Wounded Warriors by hitting the like and subscribe buttons right now. The next thing we're gonna do is transition to all fours. So you've gotten your knee down to the floor, hopefully on a padded surface if you need it. Then you're going to work your hands down towards the floor. You might need to transition one hand to a knee and thigh and then put another hand down. Then you can shift forward if that feels good, or you might need to shift over like this, and then you can put that leg down. Just take your time. It might feel awkward the first few times you practice this, but you'll start to figure out the pattern that works for you. And now that you're on all fours, you're able to work on exercises that'll help build your strength in other ways. For example, once you're on all fours, you might do something like lifting a leg and getting some hip exercise and some ab exercise. As you get more advanced, you might be doing bird dogs where you're doing one leg and one arm. You might be doing other hip exercises like the fire hydrant where you're pretending to pee on something. All of these things will help you build strength that you need to feel capable and confident. Being able to get down to the floor can also be helpful if you want to play with your grandkids, or you've dropped something under the table and you need to get to it, or you want to do some ab exercises that require you to lie on the floor. Maybe you're going camping and you want to get used to being on the ground. Whatever your reason for wanting to get all the way down to the floor, you can walk your hands over to one side and then slowly lower your butt down. Try to do this with control. So if you feel like you get here and then it's just gonna be an out of control flop, don't flop, okay? You're going to just try to bend your elbows a little bit and try to make this as gentle as possible. If you feel like there's no way it's gonna be gentle, then just practice holding this position so that your arms and your abs and your hips can gain some familiarity with this position, gain a little bit of strength, and then walk back out of it, and then do it to the other side and see how that side feels. Take your time and get familiar with these new positions before you try to bulldoze into the end position. If you can't get there right away, it's okay. Take your time, wait a week or two, just keep working on getting better at it. Eventually you're gonna notice, oh, okay, whew, I can actually get down on my butt. And from there, you can just start lowering yourself down. It's kind of like getting into bed, right? You just lower yourself down and then you're gonna roll onto your back. Now I know rolling onto your back can feel pretty difficult, so let me show you a simple trick to do it. So let's say you've just put your butt down and then you're like, okay, how do I get all the way onto my back? Well, you slowly lower yourself like this. Now from this position, it might feel like, this is impossible. I don't know what to do. Well, you're gonna take one leg and you're just gonna roll that leg back there. This leg that's already down, you can just straighten it out. And then you're gonna notice, because you've got this leg here, it's actually able to help you slowly roll into position on your back. So now, if you wanna do some sort of ab exercise, if you're going to be doing something like this, or you're gonna just try to actually do a sit-up, which I don't really recommend as a beginner thing, or if you're just trying to lift your chest up like this and keep the chin tucked just to build a little bit of strength, or you're trying to do something that's maybe a little more advanced, like maybe you're doing opposite arm, opposite leg, or maybe you're doing heel taps, whatever it is, you can now do this exercise because you're on your back. Now, how are you gonna get back up? This is equally important, and it's one of the major reasons why I'm having you work on this. And after I show you how to get up, I'm gonna tell you the story that inspired this video. So now that you're done with whatever you're doing on the floor, here's how we're gonna get up. We're gonna reverse all the steps. So this leg is gonna straighten out. I'm gonna roll to that side by pushing into the floor with the other foot. So I'm pushing, now I'm rolling onto my side. Now I've got another hand to help me out. I'm gonna bend that knee, bring the other knee up, and then I'm going to work myself onto my arms and hands like so. Now I'm almost home, right? So then I gotta walk my hands here, lift my butt up, and I'm into all fours. So let me show you that again. I'm here, then I'm going to try to lift my butt up. So this leg is pushing into the floor to lift my butt up, walking my hands over. Now I'm on all fours. All fours is awesome because now we are really in the home stretch. So I'm gonna walk myself over here, grab my chair, bring my chair over here. Now I've got a hand, and then I can bring a foot and a knee up, other hand here, and I am up, and my head is gone. Yeah, there it is. Now let's do it again for those of you in the cheap seats. So I'm lying down on my back, I'm all the way on the floor. I'm going to make sure I have one knee bent, one leg straight. I'm gonna press into the floor here, and that rolls me onto my side. Then I can bring my knees up. I'm gonna work myself onto my hands, my forearms. Here we go, now I'm up like this. Now I need to press into the floor with the bottom leg so I can come up like so, and now I'm on all fours. I could grab onto this thing. I'm gonna just shift over here so you can see this again. I'm gonna bring leg, hand, hands here. I'm good, I'm basically up now. If you've already built the strength in your legs to do the split squat, then you're already up like so. Now, over time, as you build strength in your legs, you wanna just slowly work yourself down in the split squat with no assistance. Then you can just put a hand here and here, and then work yourself down to all fours, and everything else stays the same. When you wanna get back up, you're just going here, 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 and then doing your split squat.
This is crazy. Why would you even want to tell seniors to work on something like this? They can't get stronger.
The truth is, seniors can get stronger, and if you don't work on this skill and you lose the strength to do this, you might regret it. Some of you may have heard me tell this story before, but it bears repeating. When my dad was in his mid-70s, he was just walking outside one day, and he tripped, and he fell onto his belly. He didn't have the strength to lift himself back up, and some passerby ended up calling an ambulance to help him so that he could get up off of the ground. If you don't have the strength to pick yourself back up, it can be a real problem. Some researchers have shown that being able to get up and down off of the floor with no hands is a really good predictor of mortality, meaning if you can't do it, you have a higher risk of dying. To be clear though, correlation may not equal causation, so just because you can't get up and down off the floor with no hands doesn't mean you will die. But if you end up like my dad, where you fall on the ground and you feel like you lack the strength to get up, you might die of embarrassment. And that's why we want to do this next thing. If you go to uprighthealth.com/seniors, you can stay up to date on all the developments on the seniors program that I'm making to help seniors stay independent and strong for the long run. Who knows, I might have already finished and it could be there waiting for you right now. And I encourage you to work on the skill of getting down to the floor and back up from the floor on a daily basis if your body feels like it can tolerate it. Spend a few minutes every day working on this drill, figuring out what it's supposed to feel like and whether your body has the strength to do it. And make sure you work on this on both sides. Go till you feel a little bit of fatigue and then take a rest. When you feel ready again, do it a little bit more. If on any day you feel like your legs are super sore and you just really shouldn't be doing the exercise, don't do it. As a senior, you gotta remember that your recovery takes longer than when you were a teenager. So if you are feeling sore, you don't need to push it. And if you're not feeling sore, you don't need to push it. You just wanna start building the skill, building a little bit of strength day by day so that you can do it safely without setting yourself back with lots and lots of soreness or some kind of injury. You will also benefit from a simple leg strength workout that I'm gonna link to at the end of this video and in the description box. I do encourage you to go to uprighthealth.com/seniors to check out information on the seniors program. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to help me raise money for the Wounded Warriors Project. Check out this video to help yourself build leg strength so all of this gets a whole lot easier. I'm Matt Shu from Upright Health, reminding you that pain sucks, life shouldn't.